Venus buildings. Are they training with actual lightsabers? Did they set sabers to stun? This just seems insanely dangerous. I get that the Empire's design philosophy is primarily based around intimidation, but how does intimidating your own workers with fall hazards help with all the star destroying?
We got her.
Show has everyone waiting around with bated breath as if she's already a leader in the Rebel Alliance. So I'll remind you that the concern around Leia's fate has to do with her detailed knowledge of the path and not necessarily her well-being. And I know this because not a single one of these assholes asks about Wade.
Haja, what are you doing here?
The writer's internal monologue regarding why Haja is in this episode somehow makes it into the show.
We used an old trade route to get them out, but the window's closing. We held it to help you get the kid. We only have a few hours.
If this was such a timely need, then seems like you could have explained this to Ben on the trip here. Might have even been able to formulate some sort of plan, so once you landed, you were ready to get everyone off in that small window of time. But as Josh Mankiewicz would say if he were writing for TVSins, but you didn't do that, did you?
If we seal them in now, they can hold out for days.
Oh no, not days! Impatience may be a virtue of the dark side, but it makes for a very dull character motivation. Obi-Wan is moved to action by this conveniently placed Jedi paraphernalia, instead of being suspicious about the owner of this extensive collection of lightsabers.
He hasn't the patience for a siege.
How do you know?
Whenever I run into my siblings, I also flash back to a fight to the almost death. But that doesn't excuse the absurd fact that this one singular sparring match somehow manages to be the perfect analogy for every event that occurs in this episode.
But we do not need to fight them. We just need to hold them off long enough to get you all out.
And by hold them off, you mean fight them, right?
Roken, how much time do you need to override the doors?
3-4 hours.
You have one.
Did Ben just pull a Captain Kirk on Roken? Did he just Scotty Roken? I think he just Scottied all over Roken. Show wastes over a minute of runtime on this rushing about and overly dramatic preparation in an attempt to get us invested in this standoff and hoping we wouldn't notice that the Rebels' plan hinges on the Empire with its endless supply of red shirts only attacking one of the two known doors. And spoiler alert, this works. The Empire sees a big-ass door on the roof that happens to be the size of a spaceship, and not even Vader himself thinks to send a ship, a stormtrooper, or even a droid to check it out and maybe wait there in case they try to use it.
That was underwhelming.
Haja could be my Padawan at TVSins.
I'm a little too big to be crawling around in the vents. Would you like to try?
I'm going to need a ladder.
Going out of your way to create obstacles that only Leia can overcome doesn't change the fact that her character was the worst idea this show had. And to be clear, Vivian Lyra Blair is very charming and makes her role work better than it should, but we're still stuck with an Obi-Wan helps protect a kid cliche, and that kind of sucks.
Do as she asks. You trust me? I trust her.
Obi-Wan acts as if this is a matter of trust and not a question about whether Leia has the required electrical engineering knowledge to complete the task.
I am not a babysitter, Ben.
I have to go.
Forcing someone to babysit your child, or any child you're in charge of looking after. Not cool, Ben. Not f***ing cool. I'm not sure if two incidents make a cliche, but it's super f***ing weird. Both this show and Mandalorian have a plotline that requires the smallest character to venture into a space full of wires that they have to f*** with.
If he's found you, if he's learned of the children.
But once again, how does Vader not know about the children? One's living with his uncle without a name change, and one's in a royal family making daily public appearances. This show has made Darth Vader so much less intimidating and so much more stupid. Why did you do that, Obi-Wan? I can assure you, we no longer need your help.
If I don't hear from you soon, I'll head to Tatooine.
I'm surprised you're not already there. Based on the movies and all the shows so far, everyone ends up at Tatooine eventually.
You know, I was following orders on Gorel. 14 people died and 6 of them were children, and I couldn't do anything to help them. So now I do this.
You pull your gun out of your holster?
You're right, Ben. Some things you can't forget.
Like this show? Oh, who am I kidding? I forget about this show as soon as the credits start.
If this is you stalling for time, it won't work.
Well, we still end up with one more episode. So, if Reva could have done this the whole time, then what was she waiting for? You're telling me the standoff couldn't have been over 5 minutes ago? F*** you, show, and the horses you stop and look at for 10 minutes before riding in on. Looking at this wall of stormtroopers, I find it completely unbelievable that Obi and his band of misfits have missed a single shot. Thought the only place they taught this kind of marksmanship was the Stormtrooper Academy. But still, Roken survives running around in the middle of the crossfire. Despite the interesting fight going on in the background, let's just focus on this guy swinging a pipe at blaster fire. Show pew-pews on for all the never-ending how are they going to get out of this one cliche. Expecting us to believe a stormtrooper hit something he or she was aiming at, and on behalf of humanity, I will exclaim with a resounding cry, we do not believe you. Writers give Ned B the Wade treatment. I'll assume at least half of you said, who? And the answer is yes.
Leia, you close?
Where
interrupting your protagonist as he deals with death to briefly revisit your strange comedic child fixes a garage door B-plot.
It's over.
This kicks off the most confusing exchange of dialogue in the entire series, where Roken tries to convince Obi-Wan not to quit, and Obi-Wan tries to convince Roken that he's not quitting, meaning they're on the same page the entire time, and the whole thing was unnecessary and overdramatic.
You want to tell me how you're going to fight without a weapon?
There are other ways to fight.
So, no then?
This isn't over yet.
What? The episode? Yeah, we know. Again, I have to point out that this lightsaber practice really feels like they're trying to lightly kill each other. So it'd go a long way if the show could indicate whether or not these things are Nerf, or if these two are oddly okay with being cut in half.
Lola, what are you doing in here?
I made a joke about this previously, so it's completely uncanny that Lola actually tries to adorable Leia to death here. Also, the show never acknowledges that Leia's the one that brought Lola along on this adventure, which makes it her fault all these people just died in that blaster fight. Seriously, lots of casualties on both sides. All Leia's fault. Well, that was anticlimactic. Also, if evil Lola planned to stop Leia from opening the roof, then why did it wait till she found the spot she needed to reopen the roof?
Let's get to the transport, people!
The plan was to leave as soon as possible, right? So why are all these people not already on the transport? This is cool, but not as cool as Starkiller pulling down a Star Destroyer, so points will be deducted accordingly. Neat trick, but couldn't Vader just have easily stopped the second ship by using the Force as well? Was he too tired? Did he need some orange slices? How does Anakin not stop this with some quick stabby stab action? Show wants me to believe that a weaponless Obi twice armed with only breakdance moves is a match for Darth Vader and his lightsaber. So, Bob, you telling me Vader's finally going to get to where Ben is in this episode? Man, that sounds exciting. What are you going to have him do? I don't know, Stan. I figured we'd have him stare a lot at the end. People really love to see other people behind masks staring into the distance. We've done focus groups on it and everything. Seems like Vader saw this coming for a while now, but still Reva certainly didn't help her cause by loudly grunting and deploying her saber at the moment of attack, completely undermining all her sneaking. There are two things I know for sure about this sequence. One is that Vader has his back to Reva twice and doesn't get stabbed. The other is, if you freeze the frame at exactly the right moment, it looks like Vader's penis and butthole both have lightsabers coming out of them.
Your rage was useful.
Was it though? Because they're still no closer to having Kenobi or Leia. I know they're saving the chase for the next episode, but this transport ship flying off with no resistance from the Star Destroyer in orbit is all kinds of the nonsense.
Hyperdrive is down.
Story got a story, even when it's a contrivance.
Tatooine.
Guess it wouldn't be a Star Wars series if we didn't go back to the f***ing desert.
Well, the only way out of here is to try one of these doors.
One of them leads to the castle at the center of the labyrinth, and the other one leads to certain death. Ooh.
Ah, there you are.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Set a course for Earth. Maximum warp.
Hear ye, hear ye! Ye old town crier proclaimed crappy by all. Chooseth Homer Simpson, and he shalt rock thy world.
Light him up! Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown.
It's a heavy gun.
There's that word again, heavy. Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Is everything all right?
I wet my bed.
Hello, third sister.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.